are the worst of creatures they can only be true, seeing as how not a lot of folk have been down on the ground. The closer you go up, the further you go up, probably the less dangerous creatures are there. It doesn't mean there's going to be not be dangerous creatures, but the further up you get, you're closer to the top. The closer to the top, you're able to signal, and you never know, you might make your way across these branches to the landmass itself. But you do need to start getting towards the top. It's not so much of just climbing all the way up, looking out, finding nothing, and then going back down. Now, as you say, it's harder to cross the canopy because it is basically an ocean. So, doing it from crossing, jumping from branch to branch is probably your best way of going.
So effectively, we compromise, half climb.
Yeah.
Okay. We're doing in the first place before we stopped and talked about it for
yeah,
half an hour.
although I think
How
I don't
did
know if
Mal
Ronan
find-
mentioned. Yeah, I don't know if Ronan mentioned, but the fact was,
I've
to part of the background was he was escaping. They were escaping from the Maelstros. Basically, the love was secret and they were getting away.
Oh, I never picked up on that.
The last thing they'd done was go into the Iron Oak canopy because it was their only way out. They weren't all the way down into the bottom. It was more the case of they were attacked somewhere in the canopy itself. It weren't right at the bottom. The reason Ronan is down in the bottom was to try and find the creature. This is so I don't know if he put that across or if he's already mentioned that. It was a case of but this is why he's having a hard. Yeah, this is why he's having a hard time of. I am assuming this is why you're having a hard time, Ronan, of letting go.
Yeah.
Because it's unfinished business. He's not sure if it's if this is the level the creature came from or if it lives in the trees itself. But the trail is cold at this moment.
I suggest we head towards land and perhaps we can fashion ourselves some kind of vehicle or flotation device to get us to somewhere else. It's up to you, though. I'll happily go up to the top of the tree and try, but I think we'd be better off on land.
So think about it, there is land not that far. I mean, I look at the map and say, could they go climb a little bit and find a branch to go across? We might have to climb up, climb down to get to cross to the branches. Keep going, moving across in this direction, and we should hit land. We should go.
Tell you what, Ronan. You point out which direction on the map we're meant to go. I'll tell us which direction that is. We'll follow your lead.
We'll go there and point there.
Yep. Yeah, he likes to say from the survival checks, you know this is where there is land. It doesn't necessarily mean it's land in the normal sense. It could be mountainous. It could be flotsam. It's just that it's marked on the map.
If it turns out to be that temple island we went to originally, God damn it!
Damn it!
It is marked on the map though, so you know if it's on the map, it's land. So.
Greatest luck secret hideaway. Should we start moving then? Because we've stood here for a while.
Yeah. So if you're starting to climb, but like I say, I don't want to say Ronan has the final say, but has Ronan been convinced enough to move on? Not in every sense of the word.
Yes, I'm going to move on.
So in that case, cool story dump, loved it. Also the description of the creature and that's going to come back to haunt you.
Just so you know, I've never mentioned the creature can fly.
Shit. I already knew this, but it was a case of you didn't mention the creature can fly.
But it can.
No, it can.
One of those ocean-dwelling flying creatures.
However, so with the likes of that, I've got who wrote down here. Right, so Ralph, you don't need to do an athletics check if you wish.
I'm not doing it.
Because Ronan and Melgrim can help with that, with the climbing, because you're now tied to two of them. Gaz, you get to do an athletics check, but we'll take the average of you and Daphne's. Those who aren't tied just do an athletics check. So everyone bar Ralph can make me an athletics check.
You should really all tie. So, Bard, perhaps have your feather fall ready.
17.
I think I will. 11.
It's at this point yeah, it's easy enough to claim. It's not the worst. Guys, you're even with Daphne, you're struggling. You're kind of swinging like a babe on the ropes. Come on, we got this, guys.
I'm just clinging to Daphne basically. I'm not even.
You're on her leg. You're on her.
You're on her.
Oliver just had legs wrapped around, arms wrapped around, and Daphne's just climbing everything.
Boom, muscles, sinews popping. Oh God.
Yes, I'm a magnificent creature.
Yes, it was impossible. It was literally
Beautiful.
impossible to fail that, but Gaz failed it. See, this is why you have to have failure in passes, but we'll talk about that again.
Yeah,
in the
it's
next
not
talk.
again.
However, so you managed to get yourself. I'll not make you roll again. You managed to get up about 100, 120 feet. Which isn't too bad. You're now about 200, 250 feet off the off the seafloor.
Melgrim, when you look back at Ralph, he's retreated into his shell, and you're just basically carrying like a massive trunk behind you.
I'm just like sweating, and it's like Ralph, you're going on a fucking diet after this.
It's the shell. It's
You have to get your home with you everywhere you go.
Yeah. But
I'll
with the help,
cast guidance on you if you want.
but with the help of Ronan, oh yeah, that's a really good point. With the help of Ronan and sort of, actually, well, Ralph, you're in your shell. With the help of Ronan, because he's probably got the best survival. Yeah, you managed to find a solid enough tree branch that doesn't necessarily go in the direction of where the land is, but it's not far off, so you can maybe start jumping from tree to tree branching. For the looks of it, it's not a solid canopy base at this level, but solid enough that you're able to travel, but you'll need to do checks as you go along. So
I'll be
you're now
having my boat out as a staff to sort of making sure things are safe to go along.
I can't say that would work, simply because you can see where it is anyway, so you don't really need to do that with the checks. It's just a case of just be careful when you see a lot of leaves passing over each other, that kind of thing. So it's more of a looking out rather than popping through. So yeah, from there you start to travel. So we will take one more. Same running order again, just for brevity's sake. Also, are you still tied together, those who are tied?
Yeah.
No, I'm going to take off my rope.
Right, that's good to know. So Ronan will take his rope off of Ralph. So Ralph and Melgrim will technically still be tied unless you don't want to be tied together anymore.
Unless he cuts the rope, I am not untying myself from him.
I'm going to start untangling.
Yeah.
Are we at like a level location I could walk around quite easily? Or is this like still dangerous?
Yeah,
Because my athletic consider I will
it's very
die.
dangerous. It's still the fact of this is more solid. It's not more solid. It's more solid than it would be on the top of the tree canopy, but there's still the danger of falling through stuff.
Melgrim will realise that what Ronan said, he can't have Ralph die yet. He might need him, and he might want him to go and stand trial for his crimes. So,
Healing crimes.
It says that. It says that. Will it turn around to Melbourne and say, what crimes?
unspeakable crimes.
What do you mean?
Ralph, I didn't know you did any crimes.
I will say in Elvish to you.
Oh,
Yeah.
who can speak Elvish?
Me.
Just the three of us, I think.
Okay.
The crimes he refers to is the crime of necromancy. He does not believe that people should be healed. And although he is correct, necromancy is actually part of the healing process. He believes it to be evil. I will say the word necromancy in common every time.
I was going to say, Melgrim will say, speaking so as others can't hear them, the sign of a clear, innocent man, or portal.
Also,
I'm gonna
I'm just
reply.
ass fucking with you, Mel.
I'm going to reply in Elvish and just say, necromancy's not evil, especially if it heals people. Don't worry, Ralph. We've got your back.
I think I've got
I've
Dwarvish
got
as
your
well.
back.
Yeah,
I've
you've got
got Dwarvish.
Dwarvish as well, yeah.
I'm going to turn around and speak only in Dwarvish and say, you don't look so innocent yourself, but yes, not everybody is innocent, eh?
Fucking gauntlet throwing down.
Scottish.
Melgrim will like kind of like look in into Ronan and saying to Dwarvish, "You're incredibly fucking lucky. I need you to get out of here."
I fall down saying Dwarvish because I also speak that.
We're all lucky to have each other. Melgrim, remember, we are still a team. We all need each other.
Ralph, you goddamn show off.
I have 4 languages: Common,
I'll kind of like
Dwarvish,
look
and
over.
Elvish, and that's it. And I picked them for this reason because I knew other people would have them.
I'll kind of like look at Sir Janice and Gaz and being like,
I'm going to go enough of the talking in different languages. Let's talk in something we all know. I'm going to turn to Ralph and go, necromancy isn't always evil. And I'm going to leave it at that. Let's keep going.
It's a discussion for another time, perhaps with some drinks.
Did you know say you're from the Empire?
And on
Ronan.
that note, if yous could, those who want to make a perception check, please look for a perception check.
Sweet lady got me on this perception check.
Jesus fucking clerics, am I right, Marble?
50.
Am I right?
At this point,
Guidance on everything.
I was going to
Nobody
say,
needs it.
26.
at this point,
Okay,
Melgrim is going to
now.
cut the rope. At this point, Melgrim's going to cut the rope for what he said.
I'm hanging on to the branch at this point, so
Yeah,
that was okay.
Ralph will automatically turn into Blastoise if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
The turtle turned to battle mode. Yeah, so what was
If
your...
anyone
perception,
tells
Nyla?
Melgrim I'm bringing back like the most, I'm going to sit and go through everything and go, right, what can I fuck with him with? I'm going, a wizard. He's got to be like a
that's
halfling
begrudging.
with lucky. He's got to like take the piece and I'm going to fireball.
You better believe that's a grudging. What was your perception, Nyla? Sorry.
15.
15. Okay.
I got a low 13.
Glorious bastards. Excellent. Right. I need someone to roll me a d8, straight d8. Someone pick.
Leon, do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
Leon.
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 Go baby, go baby. Of the group. Go baby of the group.
Actually, I'll let you away with that. That's
He
fine.
doesn't really know if it's good or bad.
Yeah, no.
It's a number that's higher than 2. It's a number that's higher than 1. It's a number that's lower than 4.
Yeah, that was... Oh, thanks, Marble. We'll talk about that at the end because we're about to finish. But, yeah. So,
Fucked
So-
us, Leon.
as you're walking along, this part of the canopy in Ronan you know quite well. This is... it's one of these places you feel a wee bit more comfortable on because, again, you started at the bottom to try and find traces and tracks of your quarry, but obviously...
Started at the bottom, now we're here.
Yeah, now we're at the top. So, as you're... Who thought we'd be here? Not me. As you're walking along, you start to feel, before you do anything, rustling in the branches. You're kind of bouncing slightly. And then, Ralph, you feel it as well. As the... The fuck?
My 26 perception, I know exactly where it came from and what's happening.
You feel it around, and then you start to hear noises. Hard to hear noises. It's almost like it's not so much screeches. It's low, kind of guttural.
Right, I'm just basically like kind of as low as I can, but loud enough to be able to be aware there's something here we're going to deal with.
Is it a singular sound or?
You got a 15, did you?
Yeah.
Fair perception. Yeah, you can tell it's different pitches, so you can tell it's probably a group. There is more than one.
Okay.
I'll put my